Hi, everyone. It's me, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor King Rolita here. And when your Reckoner has a freeze or a lockup, don't think all tools forget will work. All tools forget only works if it's not in a lockup. But if your Reckoner gets in a lockup, all tools forget will not get you out of it. And you think to yourself, why would your Reckoner lock up? What would make it lock up? No one really knows. Everyone has guesses over why a Reckoner would lock up, but no one truly knows why. You know, at the end of, at the end of the day, the inner working of Reckoners is mostly unknown unless A, you make them. But then even then, if you make them, you don't truly know either. Folks are going to be under the belief that tools only do what you tell them to do. So, did I tell my Reckoner to lock itself up? No. And that would be a truly dumb tool setting for any OS to have. For Windows, Mac OS, in Linux, or Chrome OS to have a lockup setting. So no, even though it's true, most of the time tools do what you tell them to do. When they misbehave or don't do what you tell them to do, you can't say that you're telling them to misbehave or you're telling them to have a glitch or a bug or something. You know? And the other thing that folks like to tell you when something like that happens is, oh, maybe you need to update. When you take all the updates that you have, and you don't need any more updates, that cannot be the forgiveness. Yes, I got 2 window updates this month. One towards the middle of the month and the other at the end of the month. Alright? So you can't say, oh, it's misbehaving because it doesn't have an update. Because that is not true. So, I don't know why it does it. And it handicaps you when it does it. Because now you got to go through the whole startup thing again. And it goes flowish in its flow about going through that. As almost if it's handicapping you for having to give it a hard shutdown because it got locked. Because that's the only way that you can. That's the only way you can undo a lockup or a freeze when it happens. Because all tools forget will not work when a lockup happens. That may have been true a long time ago, with everything from 95 to 8.1, we'll say, where if a lockup happens, all tools forget would work. Not anymore. Not with 10 and off 11. That may have been a setting that most likely would be something that you could do with Mac OS when it locked up. Had all tools forget. Maybe that's something you could do with Gecko Linux when a locked up happened. Or something you could do with Chrome OS when a lockup happens. But with Windows, you cannot. When a lockup happens, you got to do a hard shutdown. There's just no way around it. You cannot yield it out. It isn't like it's something that will undo itself, because it doesn't. Lockup and freezes never truly undo themselves. At least not when a whole Reckoner locks up. So why this even happens, no one knows. They'll give you guesses. The interweb is all about guesses. Because the interweb has really stopped being helpful. The interweb doesn't have that trustworthiness that it once had with some folks. So, yeah. Alright. So, give me your thoughts on why do you think Reckoners lock up? Because you're going to have guesses, and I'm going to have guesses. And keep in mind, even folks who make reckoners and know the inner workings of both board top and laptop reckoners are not going to have the answer. They're going to have a guess. All right, and I'll see you all later.